Welcome back. Welcome back. So now we understand that all of us are staying in an apartment complex and there's trouble with the JMB, and that for an Evertonian, we got to actually, use the lift halfway, and then we're going to use the staircase another 10 floors just because we are being penalized for it. How stupid that is. Right. Richard, right? You were in a podcast earlier, organized by if I'm not mistaken, a Gunners
Oh, the
supporter.
other one, yeah.
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 So, if you don't mind sharing me that experience, what was it like, going on the podcast? And I understand we had another ex-president on
President.
with you. Yeah. So it's like president's galore, man. Well, what was the experience like?
Of course, we don't know anybody who's going to be watching this will not know when it was recorded. But I think so. I can't say the word last week because if they watch this video next year, it wasn't last week. So we were recording a show. I think about 27th of November,
October.
with a group of gentlemen. One of them is a Man United supporter, and the other two are Arsenal supporter. And it's a good podcast. It's called TB Terengganu, Brazil, TB Podcast, and they have about 3,000 over subscribers. And as of today, the recording time of early December, I wouldn't tell the date of the recording, the views of the video is about 5,100 views. It is surprisingly. I don't know who watched it. So yeah, it was a good recording. Our former president Lin Chu was there. But again, I was guilty of talking too much. Because again, about the 10 points. Shah. If not about the 10 points, as you know, I don't talk much. I let other people talk about Everton. But I was very keen to articulate the 10 points issue for our club. So it was a good experience. I would recommend us doing a similar podcast instead of I like this Zoom thing, but I think no harm trying to do a place where we meet three of us, have a chat, and then we can call it Check Up Everton, or podcast Bola or something like that. We can call other friends to come and talk with us.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a
Yeah.
good experience.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
think Lin, as usual, spoke really well.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. All right. So I know we've talked quite a lot. Actually, Richard is the one who talked a lot. Okay. So we talked quite a lot about the points deduction. Is there anything else that you would like to highlight to everyone or anyone who's going to watch this later about the point deduction, for you to make a point, especially your views about it, that some of the supporters or anyone who's watching might not realize about it?
Okay.
About point deduction.
I say this. I want to let Brendan talk talk too much, but number one is I feel that the value of the Premier League trying to execute this. You do this when you are trying to put down a club which overspend on purpose to get an advantage on the pitch. And I think it's quite obvious we didn't get any advantage on the pitch, and we didn't overspend for that. You read through this, it is very obvious. If we don't have a stadium, this will exist. We won't have this problem at all. So every club spent a lot of money. Every club also lost money during the COVID. But no other club was building a stadium. We are the only one building a stadium. So if other clubs profit, they say 50 million, example, during the COVID, it dropped to 10, 20 million. But that's it. We had a profit of 50 million a year. We had loss of dropped down to 10, 20 million, but we were making a stadium. So we had to spend extra money. So that was why we were in this mess. And that's where I feel our board was, of course, people say easier said than done. I know, but they're the board. They are our custodian and our trustees. They really had, before we blame the Premier League, we should be looking at our board. What were they doing to put us in this position? right? So that's number one. I don't see us getting any profitability in terms of the pitch. Number two, I see the expenditure is purely because of the stadium. We are trying to build a stadium, right? And the stadium is necessary because our current stadium is way outdated. Issues pertaining to its longevity, blah blah blah. Every club is improving or making the club stadium better. Fulham doing it. Brentford got a new stadium before they came up to Premier League. Even Nottingham Forest Stadium has been refreshed many times. Our neighbour using our old stadium, Anfield, is renovating it. Man United is looking at renovating their stadium. Brighton's MX Stadium is fairly new. They were playing in some other stadium, then they took the MX Stadium about 10-20 years ago. Southampton's St. Mary's Stadium is 10-20 years ago. So it's our turn to build a stadium. But we had to build it during COVID, right? Then the third thing is that...
Rick, just clarify, when did we make the decision to actually build it? Do you know? Do you happen to know?
My memory is that, of course, I'm speaking off memory, Brendan. I think it was 19, 2018, 2019, around there. Definitely before COVID.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have expected COVID, ma.
Correct.
So how do we blame people like that, right?
Correct. So in a way, that's why I say we're not in the board, right? So we can't really blame them. So when they spend that money to buy the stadium, they thought next year we earn money. That's what they thought, right? So in that way, we are not like, I'm not putting the entire accountability on the board. But when you are building a stadium, and especially when we don't have that much money, putting aside the unexpected COVID, it was still a very dangerous route to take. And we were very unlucky. We got COVID. I think if there was no COVID and we are building a stadium, we'll still be in slight trouble. But
tight we'll be tight.
But we're very tight. We're very tight for us,
Yes.
So
again, if I'm not mistaken, some of the loans and plans we had to sell, they also fell through.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So like
we had a few times. Yeah, we had a few players that we wanted to sell off and going through the process, and then it fell through. It didn't come through at the last minute, and these are things that also could have contributed.
Yeah, correct. There's a few more other issues also pertaining to Ukraine war with Russia. So when our sponsors Usmanov was moved out from the country, we lost close to 20-30 million a year. That was another set of revenue that we lost. So in that sense, our board is not fully accountable, but at the end of the day, see why I'm saying that, Brendan, is that if we had increased our revenue when we first took over the club, when you don't just pump in money, but you generate a process of earning money in 2017, 18, 19, many ways.
Yeah, we wouldn't
be so bad. But they didn't generate income. We were still earning money the normal
I think we were talking about this for that many years and talking about why aren't we doing this kind of stuff, right? We were always pointing out why these guys are not developing the plans the correct way, and we always looked at that.
Yeah. So and don't forget, Brendan, the way to earn revenue is not just to always sell shirts to the fans. We could have looked at cryptocurrency, invest in crypto. We could have also have revenue through esports. We created Everton esports games, got involved in Dota 2 or whatever to generate the interest, and we earn money from that. We could also do a lot of IP branding, using this badge to sell. To be fair, this badge is not very sexy. It's very traditional. I love it, but it's not as sexy to sell. But that's not the point. It's still sellable. In US, for example, there's a lot of value of our Everton logo. Blah 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 blah. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, But my angle towards the board is that had we had done our job in 2016 when Moshiri took over, give and take the first year, honeymoon year, but 2018 onwards, if had generated the necessary revenue, it'd be good. But he was sacking managers. He was, the board was sacking, and then he also overruled Marcel Brands. Of course, some managers deserve to be sacked. I'm not saying that, some of them. But we were also quick draw McGraw. And then every time we sack managers, you have to pay compensation. We didn't allow
Exactly.
the director of football to do that. And then also the kind of manager he selected. So, for example, Marco Silva is very good, but he could have been a little bit too small for the club, or the club could be a bit too big. So when we got Ancelotti, very good, but we didn't give Ancelotti enough money. Then, even when we first got Ronald Koeman is not that great management. So which means Moshiri and team didn't do enough background check. You know? So, and when he finally realized his mistake, he was going to go back to David Moyes. But he then turned around and got Ancelotti, which is okay. Because we all accept Ancelotti is a good management. So, see, then the last part, the worst way, which put us in this position, Ancelotti didn't get sacked. So he resigned.
Yeah, he resigned. He chose to leave us.
Yeah. So if the manager didn't get sacked, that means the system of play that he was doing is reasonable. We finished 10th with a lousy team, right? So why did you then put Benitez? You see, if you sack someone,
that was the most hated decision everyone has ever.
So, for example, let's say David Moyes, he was sacked from Everton because we were number 10, number 20. Then you find someone totally opposite from him. But you see, why did Mr. Birkenright went for Roberto Martinez when David Moyes left? Because he knew that we had all the defensive strategy, and credit must be given to Bill. We had all the defensive strategy. Moyes wasn't sacked, so that means this is not a lousy team, it's a good team. He went to find a manager who played attacking football. And we finished 5th in 2014. Right? Of course, the next year we found out that Roberto Martinez cannot defend. But that's besides the point. So you see, when you have an owner who changed manager and never use proper due deal, whatever his process due deal is not working. So we were in a very bad mess. We got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Well, I think Brandon, this is Brandon and Rick, this is karma. We sinned when we brought in that idiot of a fella called Benitez, and now we are paying it. I'm not sure. Maybe it's karma. But I have a hypothetical question to Brandon. What if, Brandon, we were deducted only 3 points? Would we have, as a club and supporters, just take the deduction of 3 points and just get on with our life as compared to what we are doing right now, fighting,
That's a
and
very
everything.
good question.
So, yeah. What if it was only 3 points?
I think, if it's only 3 points, I have a very big feeling personally, and I think the other fans will agree, it's acceptable, because that's they have precedents where points are deducted, but not up to 10. If it was 3 points, people will say, okay, fine, you give me a thing and we will still go and fight. But having 10 points deducted is a very huge precedent that we have never seen. So that's why everybody is upset. Okay, now, not saying that we are saying it's wrong or that we are wrong, but again, given the idea that we have gone to them and told them that we have this issue, okay, please understand, I thought it'd be more understanding, even if it was, so it's taken into consideration that we have come forward, we have complied wholly with everything, and then they will actually, okay, fine, get a fine and get a point deduction. If it's 3 points, yeah, I think a lot of people will say, okay, I accept it. But when you go for 10 points, which is so huge, and it drops you right to the bottom, last place, dive to 20th, everyone's going to jump. And the thing is, we've got other clubs fans and saying this is not fair either. Okay, the 3 clubs, they're making noise here, but you ask other clubs, all of them are siding us and saying, look, this shouldn't be.
So
that's my feeling.
Yeah. No, because for me,
question, Shah.
Yeah, because I was just thinking or talking about what if it was 7 points, what if it was 5 points. But for me, you know, if I were to put a number, it's 3 points or maybe because to me, 10 points. Where the hell do they get that formula to come up with 10 points in the first place? That is for me, it's like you deduct me one match, 3 points, or 2 matches, 6 points. 10 points is like 3 wins, 1 draw, 10 draws. I don't know where the formula comes from.
You put it in perspective, okay? You get a red card. All right. You sit down how many games? Like you get a red card and you sit down the whole season. Don't come on lah.
Basically half a season. Half a season. Yeah.
It's called proportionality of punishment.
Correct.
It's not proportional. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you steal a pen, but you get to jail for 20 years. So it's the kind of stuff like doesn't make sense lah.
Maybe Najib's pen. That's why. Okay, never mind. Shit, I had to go there.
Which player?
Okay. All right. Now, I have to ask another question. For me, the feeling that I'm feeling right now with us under this situation, I'm more at, I would say I am more at ease. I am actually glad that we are going through this as compared to the same time we are going through last season. I'm more optimistic.
You know why?
I'm more positive as compared to last season, even though we are down in the gutters. Why, Brendan?
You know why? Because no one reacts like an Everton fan. And when we were against the board and we were talking down there, we had all havoc. Everybody siding here, siding there, and not really happy with everything. But this unfortunate event has really brought everybody together, and we are backed up against the wall.
Yep.
And we are fighting to know that we have pride in our club and we will continue strong. That's it.
Yeah, I think
you're gonna make me cry.
Brendan, shit. Rick, how about you? Do you echo my feelings, or do you feel? I'm more at ease.
I think a few things, Shah. Number one, your question about 3 points is fantastic. I think technically, if they had put 3 points penalty against us, most of us would accept it and move on.
We would have moved on.
Yeah, but probably they wanted to create a precedent, blah blah blah. And also interestingly, I won't talk much here already, but on that point, maybe go and check out who's the chairperson of the commissioner. Find out who is his client.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
No,
because it was a bit strange.
Yeah. Rick
strange
to me.
You see. Yeah, it's a bit strange. You see, you know, Shah, I'm pretty sure that person would have been maybe the most qualified or the most experienced person. I'm not here to cast aspersion on anyone. But when you want to adjudge someone, justice must not just be done, but must be seen to be done. So, for example, if everyone knows I'm an Everton fan, you cannot ask me to go and referee a match between Liverpool and Everton. You know who I'm going to support. So I can never become a referee of the match, right? So if this person is a client of Club XYZ,
I beg to differ. I can choose you to be the referee, but you can expect Everton to win or in favor of Everton. So are you telling us that we are in this situation because of that? That there was
you see, I think the person who decided the case, I feel that he sound very sound, and the way they decided, they're very articulate in law. But when you find out who his client is, then it feels very suspicious, you know. Yeah. So anyway, that is one problem. But back to your one, being optimistic this season, I totally subscribe and agree with Brendan. I think Everton supporters are very united in the way we conform and support. But we are very fortunate this season that Sean Dykes have got the team fairly playing well. We again outplayed Forest, another club around our level of challenge. Hopefully we can beat Newcastle. It's going to be very tough because this is a different Newcastle, not like the Newcastle of 4 or 5 years ago. So, but I think we will be able to survive very, very close lah. this season.
Okay. All right.
Closer than last season.
Since you are talking about the Newcastle, so I'm going to go to the next one. So enough with the 10 points deduction. Let's
10
talk
points.
about the team. Let's talk about our team and how they are doing right now and moving forward. Okay. We are not the only team that is going to go through a hell of number of matches up to year end, right? The whole month of December. So for us, we have 7 matches altogether. And very interesting, like you say, the next one is Newcastle at home.
Actually, Shah, sorry, we got more matches, This,
Yeah,
the list you
FA.
gave me, not only that, the list you gave me, the Fulham at home, is that the League Cup?
Fulham at
The
home.
list you
No,
gave me?
this, oh yeah, that one is league. Yeah, that's league.
So that means we have 1, 2, 3, 6 league matches,
Mm.
1 League Cup
One
quarterfinals,
League Cup quarterfinals.
and
yes.
then as Brandon just mentioned, FA Cup lah.
Yeah, with Crystal
Mm.
Palace, which I didn't put in. Oh, that's 8. That's 8
Yeah, man.
altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
1
8
month.
altogether.
How
God.
do we manage that in that many days,
Well, it's not only
That's
us,
craziness.
it's everyone else, it's almost everyone else. But the most interesting is because the next one is Chelsea. I mean, after Newcastle is Chelsea.
Newcastle.
They
Yeah.
are at their ascendancy, and the best part is both of these matches is at home, where we suck big time. We do well, fantastic away from Goodison, but at Goodison, so overall, I'm sorry, it's not a possible of 21 points, but a possible of 18 points. Then we have Burnley, and then we have Spurs. Then after that is Man City, then Wolves. Those are really tough matches, right? So I'm gonna ask Rick this question because he's good at his crystal ball is not bad. I think it's okay. Yeah. So out of the 18 points, how many points do you think we can get out of the 6 matches?
I feel, let's start off with the easier ones first. I feel that we have a optimistic chance against Fulham in the League Cup.
Yep.
I see Fulham a bit off the last few months, even though over the weekend they pick up again.
Yep.
And Marco
Very
Silva
close.
is again going through. Yeah, Marco Silva is again going through the second season syndrome, like what he went through with us. So I think we have a 51-54% chance of taking the game to go to the semi-finals. In terms of the league, I still feel that our home matches, we have been playing better at home than away. But for some reason, we just can't score. I feel that
statistically, yes.
We just can't score. We have a lot of chances, but we can't score. So I feel Newcastle at home, Chelsea at home, and Man City at home, 3 home matches in December. Out of these 3, instead of 9 points, give us maybe 4 or 5 points to collect from them. We'll win 1 and draw the other 2.
No, 4. Yeah, 4.
Oh.
4 is like 3, 1 win and 1 draw and 1
draw,
loss.
1 lose. Yeah. So
5 points is like no losses at home, man. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I feel we can do it, especially during Christmas against Man City with what's going on. We may just hold them to a draw. Right. And Goodison is not difficult, no easy place to come play.
Always.
Away,
supposedly.
I feel Burnley, while they defeated Sheffield United yesterday 5-0.
Yep.
I feel we still have a better team than them. Even though their stadium is quite daunting, but we did outplay them quite effectively against Goodison. So I think that game will either take 3 points or at worst 1. I don't see us winning in Spurs. I think this current Spurs team, the manager has got them to play quite right. They have a feel-good factor. They lost 3 in a row, but they came back last night 3-3 against Man City. So I think they will probably nick against us. Wolves was a game we should have won.
Yep. Last time around.
Despite we had no proper striker, we were still trying to get used to the system. our tripartite midfield was still Onana, Dakore, and Ghana. Ghana was still on the bench, right? But now
Yeah.
with Ghana coming in, there's a lot more balance. And Wolves were very lucky to beat us in the second game of the season. So I feel we have a positive chance against them at Molino. So I think that one we probably get a point or 3. So we'll probably get a point or 3 against them. Burnley a point or 3. We'll probably beat Fulham at home. Hopefully, we'll lose to Spurs. And I think Newcastle, Chelsea, and Man City, I see us beating Chelsea.
Okay.
I feel Chelsea is inconsistent. We don't know which Chelsea will turn up. And they could either beat us flat 4-5-0 or lose to us on that day.
Okay.
So I think they are the one team we have a chance. Whereas Newcastle is very steady.
Very steady.
Very
consistent,
steady.
consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Howe has got them playing very well. All respect to Eddie Howe. I
Okay.
like Eddie Howe. But Man City, when they play us, just like us, they'll be very tired already. You know, we are tired, so are they. But we are tired playing at home. So hopefully we'll nick a point there. So that's how I see it. 1 point against Newcastle, maybe 0. 3 points against Chelsea, maybe 1. Burnley 1 or 3. Fulham we win. Spurs we lose. Man City either we draw or we lose. Wolves draw or victory.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm optimistic in that sense.
Okay. All right. So based on my calculation, you are talking between 9 to 14 points. That's not
I think
bad.
we'll take 9 points, isn't it? I think any of us will take 9.
Yeah,
9
9 to 14 points max. How about you, Brendan? What do you think?
I'm thinking 8, 2 wins, 2 draws.
2 wins, 2
I'm
draws,
looking
and
at 2
everything
wins,
else we
2
draw.
draws. Yeah, because look, we are playing really well, but possession-wise, we are not strong. We are waiting for them to come in, but so far our defense have proven quite okay. But again, it's just that tiny slip of that moment, and then it just goes away. So we could have done more than 2-0 the other day, and then we let go. We lost only 2. We only won at 2-1. So it's kind of dangerous grounds. Garner is stepping up in the midfield, which is excellent. He was controlling it the other day. But again, our strikers, whether you've got DCL or Beto down there, I seen them behind the ball. They are not reaching the ball, or the ball is coming in at a beautiful cross, but this guy has overshot the thing. All right, he has to come backwards to get it. Thank God we have McNeil down there who just volleys the shot in, you know. But other than that, where's the thing? And we also have the Everton luck, which is we were firing ball like crazy. Every shot we were whacking. Somehow, somebody has a leg back. All right.
Okay.
What else can we do?
Right. For me, it's 9 points, 2 wins, and 3 draws. It's going to be tough for us to go for the win. But as long as we hold on to it, then it's fine. You know,
That's the thing,
we should be looking at 9 points at least. Because why? Because we needed to survive in the first place. So the question now, considering about the points we're talking now, so towards end of the year, do you guys think we'll still be in the bottom 3, or will just barely scrape out of it? Brendan was shaking the head. I'm not sure.
No, I think we'll scrape out of it, and I think the reason is because even though we are having headaches, the other clubs below us are also having worse than us. So
worse than us.
In a way, it's lucky for us. Yeah, but that keeps us up. The thing is this: we have seen our guys performing. As I said, we just need to try and get the goals. If just one of our strikers switches on and gets it at a time, we're going to be scoring goals.
Yep.
All right, because look and see, we had games last time when we got no shots at goal in the whole half, and now we have people taking pot shots. Mikolenko is scoring. You got Dukore coming in, so everybody's taking a shot, right? It's just which one goes in. right? And then the
Yeah.
day is a clear off the line, off the
Mm.
line. If not, we've got to get more than that. So
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
there lah. It's just that switch, that second split second quickness,
Mm.
when the striker gets to the ball and puts the thing in.
Yeah.
Just imagine Ghana is scoring, Ghana. So we are there lah. It's just that split second behind. I mean, that's all. So I
Yeah.
think we can do it.
Rick, what do you think? Can? We can? Definitely we
Of
must.
course,
A must is
the
yes, but whether we can do it or not.
yeah, of course, as the Evertonian in me will say we will survive. But it will be very close.
Very
Actually, I
close.
feel that this season, if not for the 10 points deduction, we'll comfortably finish in maybe 13th or 12th
Yes.
place. If you are lucky, maybe number 9 or 10. Nothing
Mm.
more than number
Nothing.
9 lah.
Okay.
Let's be pragmatic.
Mm.
But because of 10-point deductions, I think we'll probably finish about 33 to 37 points.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't think we can even breach the 40 points. We can't. I don't think we're going to
Yeah.
get the 40 points.
And I feel Luton, Sheffield United, maybe Burnley, maybe Fulham, maybe Bournemouth. These 5 will be fighting at the bottom 5, and including us,
Towards
bottom 6.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So it's I don't see anybody else dropping there.
Mm.
It's just going to be the 6 of us.
Okay, the 6 of us.
So
Yes.
the 6 club at the bottom. But we should be fighting in the middle between. By right, we should be fighting Brentford, Brighton, maybe Aston Villa if they go down, they're on top. But once they fall off again.
Expected
then-
lah. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
everyone expect Villa to along the way.
Well done,
Lose
you see
some
the
steam,
man-
yeah. Lose some
Yeah,
steam.
but you see, this is what happens when the club is run properly, you see, properly managed, properly run. They choose the right manager to replace the last one. Then this is what you see. Even like Newcastle, when they got so much money, they didn't go for some big name manager. They went for Eddie Howe.
Mm.
People tend
Yeah.
to forget Eddie Howe wasn't selected by the former owner. Eddie Howe was selected by the current owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were very pragmatic.
Mm.
This is how to run a club. When we lost Roberto Martinez in 2016, while I like Koeman, I met him personally. He's a very nice and charming man. You know who we should have gone for? At that time, we should have gone for a very hungry Tuchel. If you want a big name, go for
Yeah.
Tuchel. He was very
Yeah.
hungry to prove himself. Or you can go for a manager at the time in 2016. Since you want an experienced head, someone very steady, very calm, go for Goose Hiddink. Go for Goose Hiddink.
That's a name
Bring him in.
that's a name. Yeah, but it's 2016 lah. That was
2016. Not now. Now it's too old.
Now it's too old already. Yeah,
2016. Yeah. So you go for that kind of manager. So, but anyway, it's easier said than done. In the past. So we just need to live with what we have. But I think we'll just make it. But it's very, very nervous lah.
Okay.
I'm
Alright.
much more nervous this season than last season actually.
Oh, really? I've yet to reach there, but I'm confident that that we are not going to be relegated. I'm looking at the team. We should be looking at the team play. To them, it's like what 10 points deduction. There's it's no impact to them. They are playing as though that we are mid-table. So I like that. As a supporter, as a fan, I like the way how the team handle themselves on the field. It gives us confidence that they know what they are doing as players. Yeah. All right.
It reminds me of David Moyes' time lah.
But it comes back, it is the manager right now putting that thing in place. If you just leave it like that, I don't think it's going to work. It's
Yeah.
somehow is the manager who's getting them around.
Well
the
done to
thing
Sean
and
Dyche, yeah.
Yeah, so I hats off to him to be able to manage this. I know there are some people who weren't very happy with his selection. I mean, but
some people
he's
are not
proving
going to
that
be
he can
happy
do it,
forever
lah.
and ever. So that they are born like that.
Yeah,
So
they
we're
are
not going to go
people
that.
not gonna be that. Yeah,
all
so,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
But to be fair, everyone has their own opinion. But I'm one of those who supported Sean Dyche's appointment because of what we need at the time. But if you like 7
Yeah.
years ago, you say Sean Dyche, I'll be like, why? You know? But
Mm.
now in the current position,
All right.
well, when we when we lost Ancelotti, instead of Benitez, we should have gone for Sean Dyche lah.
Yeah, what we mean?
That
Yeah,
that
maybe.
agree. That
Yeah,
one
yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah, yeah,
Benitez.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm not gonna talk about deductions anymore. I think we're gonna go and close it at a very high note. I'll start with Brandon first. Your message to EPL bosses should this recording reach them, and also message to any of our supporters out there, all Everton supporters around the world. Your message.
Yeah, well, I support this club because of what it stands for. I think that our fighting spirit has always been the thing that drew me to the club. And I think we will show that fighting spirit no matter what happens to us. So whatever they do to us, I think that we will still be strong. We will still go out there. We will still play the game as the way it's supposed to be played. All right, win, lose, or draw. That's where we are. So no matter what happens, we will stand strong. And the whole supporter from everywhere around the world, I think that's where we all believe Everton will survive.
Right. Strong words from Uncle Brandon. Now, Richard, your message.
Well, to wrap it up, thank you again for having Brendan and I here. It's good to be back on ESCM Views. My message to the Premier League management, if they see, I mean, I doubt that they don't even care about club they watch it. Yeah, but if they do watch us, then all I can say is that we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved.
Yeah. Very. Okay, this is very uncharacteristic of you because that's very short. And for me, I like the one in the match of the day is it's Everton against the world, and we are winning, and we are going to continue to win. And bleep it up, right? All right. So
yeah,
thank you,
I'm
everyone.
sorry, I didn't catch that.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Richard, to be together with us. It's been a while, Brendan. So hopefully we'll see you guys again on ESCM Views quite soon after this. So this is a good start for us in this special edition of ESCM Views. Potong, potong, potong. All right. Have a nice day. Up
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Office. Come on, you Blues. All right. Thank you.